Hello guys, welcome back to the series of tutorials on C++. I am Deepak Niyal, and in this tutorial we are going to discuss inheritance in more detail. In previous tutorial we discussed the inheritance, its importance and the way you can implement it. So if you have not watched my previous tutorial on this, I suggest you to go back, watch that video and then come back. Otherwise it will be difficult for you to grasp the concepts here. Okay, so in previous tutorial we also discussed the type of access modes and the way they affect the visibility of variables from base class to derived class, right? We also discussed one example related to vehicles very briefly, and that we are going to see in this tutorial in very detail. All right, I will implement that example for you so that you are able to understand the way inheritance works. Clear? So after implementing that example, with or without inheritance, you will be able to understand the importance of inheritance and will be able to appreciate it more. All right, so let's start. So we have vehicle class, and then we have these three classes and these three functions, right? So I will move to the editor and code it now. Okay, so here is the editor in which I am going to implement that vehicle class. So I will write class vehicle. Always keep this thing in mind that first letter of class is capital, although this is not necessary, but it's a convention, so in that way it's necessary to write it in that way. And then you have to write a constructor for this, and here you can write some message that I am vehicle of base class, and after that endl. And now this class is implemented. There are some functions that we were talking about, that there is function apply breaks, and here you can give a void return type and pass some message. I am just copying this line so that we don't waste much time here. We'll just type the message whatever is the function name. Later you can implement it in another way, but I think for the sake of understanding it's good if you copy everything. Capacity, so you can also write the function name like this, get capacity, and then write it here, and at the end last function fuel amount, and you can write it here, right? Now you have to create an object of this class if you want to call its function. So I am creating vehicle v1, and then you can call any function v1 dot apply brakes or v1 dot get capacity and v1 dot fuel amount. Just keep this thing in mind that in reality these function will not be void every time, because when we are talking about get capacity it might return something and you might print that here, right? But as of now it's enough. So let's run this program now. You can also run it from here. You don't need to use terminal every time, so you can use the same commands that you are using in terminal. And now you can see this program has compiled successfully, and if you run this, I am vehicle of base class apply brakes get capacity and fuel amount, right? Now our next task is to inherit this function in some another base class. So I am taking example of bus, and inheritance will be public because I want to get these functions in this class. You can also use protected here. It will not matter in much in this case, but I think public is fine. We don't want to get into that much. And then you can write vehicle here, right? So this is when you are trying to get these methods from the top class. But what if we remove all this? So what will happen, you have to create some functions here, and first function that I am creating here is actually a constructor. I will copy this thing from here, and then I can write I am bus of bus class, right? So I think this is fine. If you want to call these functions, you have to copy these functions from here and paste it here. Try removing these functions first. Now we don't have any functions, right? Create object of bus, and then you can run this program first. Here I have compiled it successfully, and you can see these are output from the top class, that is vehicle class, and this is output from the bus class. Now I want to get similar output, or I want to call these function in the bus class as well. So let's try doing that first. I will copy this whole thing and put b1 here, because I want to call apply brakes, get capacity and fuel amount. But there is some error. Can you see the error? There are three error. No member named apply brakes in bus b1 dot apply brakes, no member get capacity, and no member fuel amount. So I hope you got the idea what is happening here. Actually the thing that is happening here is we don't have these function in the bus class. So you can copy these functions from the top and paste it here. Now this class has these functions, right? If you compile this program now, it will compile successfully, and then these are the output from the top class, and these are output from the bus class. But can you see the problem? The problem is that you have written these functions first, and then you have copied these functions and pasted here. But I have already told you that we have more classes, so I will again write this whole code for the car class. I will make it car, and I am car of car class. I will make it car, and then I will write something here, or maybe I should write C out and ENDL so that there is some gap here. Now I can copy it whole for car class and make it C1, then make it C1, right? So I think it's fine. Now try to compile this program and run this program now. So here is the output from vehicle class, this is from bus class, and this is from car class. Again we have one more class, and that class is truck class. So let's copy this whole thing again and make it truck, and I am truck of truck class, and then truck here as well. And now you can copy this whole thing, make it d1, so it should be truck, and I think everything is fine now. Okay, run this program again, and here is the truck, here is the car, here is the bus, and here is the base class output. So you have got the output for each and everything, right? Now just look at the number of lines in this program. There are 101 lines. Clear? Sometimes I thought of changing implementation of these functions. Let me change something here. Suppose I am changing and I am writing here xyz, and I want this xyz in every function of the get capacity, right? So what should I do now? I should write this xyz in here, 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 and every places where get capacity is there. Clear? So you can understand that every time I need to copy it and paste it in some other class. So we have only three functions as of now, but there could be thousands of functions when you're writing some real world program, and that thing could be problematic because that's going to produce some errors if you are not able to copy it correctly, or you might forget that sometime, right? And there is a lot of duplicacy here. We are writing all these functions every time, so it's getting very difficult. So now come back to the inheritance part. What we have to do, we have to implement it in such way, right? Now what I have done, I have just inherited vehicle class in bus. Clear? So just remove these functions and now see how many lines are there in program now. But I will copy it from here, paste it here, because we are inheriting that class, vehicle class, in every other class, because we want properties or functions of base class into derived classes. Clear? Now it's fine. Now you can see we have reduced almost 35 lines from this code. Clear? So I think it's it's good. Let me run the program for you now and see if it behaves in the same way or there are some changes. If there are some changes, we will look into that in our next lecture. So run the program now. You can see here our output starts. It's printing I am vehicle of base class and then output of these three functions. After that it is again printing I am vehicle of base class and then bus class. So where it is coming from? And then there is output of these three functions. Again it's again printing vehicle of base class, then car class. So everything is same that we have done till now, but one thing is different, that we are getting this in every line, right? So what happens actually, I'm just telling you this thing briefly, we can discuss it later in more detail. Whenever you create object of any derived class, the base class constructor is called first, right? So it's a separate matter whether you are calling some default constructor or parameterized constructor. But the thing is, whenever you are trying to create object of derived class, base class constructor will be called first. So every time you can see here, whenever you are creating object of truck class, it is calling constructor of base class, right? It is in this way because this constructor will be called, so it will call this first, then it will call truck, and so on for everyone. Clear? So I hope you got the idea of this thing now, and I'm sure now you are able to understand why we use inheritance. All right. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the constructor and destructor calling order with respect to base class and derived class. And I think this is enough for this lecture. If you have any doubt or query regarding any of these things, you can write your queries in the comments and I will try to respond back. So see you in the next video with some new concept. Till then, thank you so much.